Where's Sarah? Was she stuck at the hospital?
No, she's not coming.
Oh, this sure isn't where I thought you were taking me. I thought we were going to lunch.
That was my sister-in-law, Anna. They're both on a cruise out of Monte Carlo. But Tony being Tony, he couldn't stay away from work for long, so he scheduled a business meeting in Athens while the boat was docked there for the day,
And also, I want to tell you how grateful I am that you're doing the right thing and you're putting your relationship with Cat Green behind you.
Now that we're here, not in mixed company, I need to say I'm sorry.
Brady helps Sarah unleash her fury. But what really happened to Tony DiMera? In today's days of our lives, emotions explode, mysteries deepen, and unexpected chemistry takes center stage. Brady helps Sarah vent her rage in a destructive but healing way. Xander bears his soul to Marlena. JJ makes a major life decision. And Anna panics over Tony's eerie disappearance. But is Tony really missing? Or could this be another André-style fake-out? Meanwhile, DiMera chaos brews as EJ juggles crises. Theo struggles with loyalty. And a new Salem resident, Selejko, debuts with a dark past that may shake the Carver family to its core. Today on Days of Our Lives, Anna is in a panic over Tony. JJ asks Theo for advice. Jennifer receives a reality check. Xander tells Marlena everything. And Sarah has an eye-opening event. Xander tells Marlena during his one-on-one therapy session that Sarah filed for divorce and is requesting full custody of Victoria without visitation. He acknowledges what he did to Philip and says that walking away could be best for Victoria. According to Marlena, individuals may grow and recover, particularly if they have a purpose in life. Although he can't do it alone, Xander wants to improve. Even after his Philip confession, would she still be there to support him? As long as he is totally open and honest, Marlena agrees. He makes a commitment and inquires as to whether he can make amends with Sarah. Marlena wants to start by trying to fix him. He concurs since Victoria is a significant part of his life. Brady takes Sarah to a rage room so she can vent her rage in a secure setting. Despite her initial reluctance, Sarah accepts slamming glass and batting at tires and a bulky bag. After finishing, Sarah tells Brady that it was both thrilling and enlightening. She did exactly what Xander wanted to do to Brady in that room, and he did the same to Philip. She felt bad about striking inanimate items, but Xander didn't feel bad about it because she wants him out of her daughter's life. She feels like a monster herself, even though she married a monster. Brady tells her that he would follow suit. She gives him a hug and thanks him for his understanding. Tony, where are you? EJ tells Kat in his office that Tony isn't there. Their cruise ship was parked in Athens, and according to Anna, he never returned from a business meeting. Kat believes that every second matters if something is really amiss, but EJ dismisses it as Tony losing track of time. EJ concurs and requests that she inform Chad about DiMera while he meets with Theo. While working out some issues with the department psychiatrist, JJ informs Theo at the pub that he is taking a leave of absence from the force. He wants to continue working and make amends for his previous badge-wearing incident, but he won't if Theo is against it, although JJ shouldn't have placed this on him. Theo also believes that it was premature to discuss his potential as a police officer. It is up to JJ to decide for himself. After receiving EJ's urgent text, Theo departs. Jennifer expresses regret to Chad for the terrible words she uttered to him at The Spectator. She is appreciative that he is acting morally and moving on from Kat, though they go over everything again, including Thomas's desire to reside in Boston with her and Jack. Chad needs her to make it clear that's not an option, even if he knows she didn't plant the seed. She needs his word to keep Kat out of his children's lives, but she swears to do that. As soon as Kat enters, he declares that their relationship is finished. She quickly leaves after reporting that Tony is missing. Although Jennifer is aware that Chad wasn't responsible for Kat's visit, it serves as a reminder to her that Chad and Kat cannot avoid one another while residing in the same area. In the last scenes of the show, in his office, EJ offers to cover for Tony at DiMera if Theo needs any assistance. However, when Anna calls, that becomes irrelevant. Tony missed the ferry because his meeting took too long. At the next port, he will reunite with her. But has he returned? Kat phones Rafe in the square to let him know what's going on with Tony. She apologizes for barging into the office while Jennifer was there and hangs up when she sees Chad. Chad dismisses it, stating that Jennifer needs to learn the lesson. When EJ tells him about Tony, he then lets out a scream of relief. Jennifer comforts a distressed JJ about his feelings of humiliation about Theo at the Horton house. Next on Days of Our Lives, Stephanie presses Jeremy for answers, and Hank Northrup makes his debut as Abe's literacy mentee. Spoilers for Days of Our Lives. Will Xander and Sarah explore new romantic interests prior to their unavoidable reunion? According to spoilers on Days of Our Lives, Xander and Sarah Horton Kyriakis might date other people before they eventually reconcile. Spoilers for Days of Our Lives. Sarah says she no longer loves Xander. First, it's important to remember that although Sarah has stated that she no longer loves Xander, he still has a deep affection for her. To be honest, Sarah wishes she didn't love Xander, but she might change her mind if he started dating someone else. We believe that Sarah will be the first to move on. In an interview with Soaps.com, Eric Martsolf acknowledged that his character Brady Black will swim right in and capitalize on Sarah's present dislike of Xander. Brady has long desired a stable love, and he has made a special effort to put his toxic relationship with Kristen DiMera, who is currently incarcerated, behind him. Additionally, it appears that Rachel Black, his daughter, is determined to cause friction between her father and any woman Brady attempts to date. But she likes Sarah somehow. Poor Ava Vitale was essentially driven out of Salem by Rachel. Brady and she were attracted to one another. Unfortunately, in order to keep Ava away from Brady, Rachel and her grandmother, Rachel Blake, abducted her. Shortly after EJ DiMera was shot in April of last year, she skipped town because she finally felt that Salem had nothing left for her. Ironically, he was shot by little Rachel. Spoilers for Days of Our Lives. Brady clearly has a thing for Sarah. Brady also clearly has a thing for Sarah. Apart from her mother, Sarah is the only woman Rachel would truly accept in Brady's sphere of influence. Brady is already stepping in to assist Sarah in moving on from her failed marriage to Xander. That said, we can see that Xander is truly trying to turn his life around. However, there is only so much rejection a man can take. We can maybe see him gravitating toward Gwen Rizsek. When Gwen first arrived in town, Xander and Sarah were separated, and he and Gwen hooked up. They went back to Gwen's hotel room. But poor Xander is so hopelessly devoted to Sarah that he couldn't go through with spending the night with Gwen. However, Gwen accepts him. Gwen has never judged Xander as harshly as Sarah has. While Sarah has encouraged Xander to be a better man, she's also pushed him away because he's not good enough. We could see Xander taking comfort in Gwen's arms for a while if Sarah starts spending more time with Brady. Also, we can even see Xander sharing a steamy night in bed with Gabby Hernandez. If for some reason Xander and his brother, Philip Kyriakis, found out that Gabby betrayed them, it may be Philip who turns his back on Gabby. Days of Our Lives spoilers. Gwen of Gabby could provide Xander with a temporary distraction. Yet, Xander understands what it's like to make mistakes. He may discover it's easier for him to empathize with Gabby if Philip abandons her. Plus, a while back, Gabby planted a sexy smooch on Xander at the bistro. Xander didn't exactly seem to mind. Furthermore, if Xander and Gabby hooked up while Philip was still sleeping with her, it would create so much soapy drama. Remember, right now, Sarah has decided that Xander is pure evil and wants nothing to do with him. Xander may seek affection elsewhere if Sarah continues to play this self-righteous card with him. We wouldn't blame Xander for becoming romantically involved with someone like Gwen or Gabby. Sarah seems quite content to hang around with Brady for now. Plus, Sarah did kiss Brady to retaliate against Xander for kissing Gabby. We can see these two gravitating toward others before they realize they belong together. Also, if Sarah is going to act all high and mighty, Xander needs to remind her exactly what she's throwing away. Xander is genuinely trying to change, and he's even decided to continue his therapy with Marlena Evans without Sarah by his side. Xander's continued sessions with Marlena demonstrate a very mature, responsible, and wise departure from his dark past. It shows his strength and character growth. Sadly, she's also vowed to keep Xander away from his young daughter. Sarah may ultimately come to regret her decision. November sweeps are coming soon, and there are bound to be some major surprises. We think Xander deserves someone who can embrace him for the flawed but lovable man that he is. Days of Our Lives spoilers, October 30th. EJ propositions Kat, Johnny cools Chanel. Alex gets another shock. Days of Our Lives spoilers for Thursday, October 30th see EJ asking Kat for a favor, while Johnny tries to keep Chanel from tweaking out. Next on Days, EJ has so many balls in the air, it's amazing he can remember, much less tend to them all. On the one hand, he's got the gala to plan, a hospital to run, and a miracle drug to develop. On the other hand, Tony has suddenly gone missing, and EJ's own son still isn't talking to him. That's a lot for one man to manage. So EJ turns to his trusty assistant, Kat. She's done some shady things herself in the past, so she's not one to judge. And then there's her brother, Mark, who is also a DiMera employee. Chanel's unrealistic expectations. Chanel has decided that her life won't be complete without a baby. Not just any baby. One particular baby. Chanel must have Tesoro. Now, Johnny attempts to manage his wife's expectations. Perhaps he can point out that there are other babies in the world, babies whose biological mothers they don't know. He can also point out that they're rich. They can hire a surrogate. They can hire a dozen surrogates. They can afford a baseball team full of babies. Let go of Tesoro, Chanel. Let go and move on. Amy's surprising confidant. Tesoro and his mother are also on Amy's mind. Sophia is catatonic and is being put under psychiatric care. Amy is beside herself with grief and confusion, and you won't believe who she talks to about it. Guess. Guess. Okay, we'll tell you. Jeremy. We know random, right? But it would seem he says exactly what Amy needs to hear. Stephanie has a secret. Isn't it funny that when Stephanie and Alex first got together, Salem thought his past would come back and hurt her? Doesn't seem to be the case, though, does it? It's Alex who keeps getting shocked about Stephanie's past romantic adventures. And, oh, wait, she has another one for him. As Hank Northrup makes his Days of Our Lives debut, he warns of his character's very dark backstory. Legacy is everything in daytime, with soap operas passing from generation to generation both on-screen and off. And that's why we were so excited to learn back in February, yes, 8 months ago, to learn that Days of Our Lives had cast Hank Northrup, son of the late Wayne Northrup, and General Hospital's Lynn Herring in a mysterious new role. And now, we finally get to meet him. Northrup is making his debut at Abe's literacy mentee and Theo's former bully, Liam Selejko. Northrup spoke with soaps a bit on the red carpet at this year's Emmy Awards, making clear that my character is nothing like me. So just diving into him and who he is as a person has absolutely changed me. The backstory I've had to do. There was a lot of backstory I had to dive into that was very dark, and I'm a happy, optimistic person. So that was a fun challenge. We suppose it makes sense if Liam was as horrible to Theo as it sounds. But clearly, that's not the end of the story. While Northrup couldn't give away too much, he did say that Liam is trying to turn the corner. He's turning over a new page and trying to be a better human. We suppose that's why Liam has taken the step to sign up for a literacy program. Back when news of joining Days of Our Lives first broke, the actor spoke to TV Insider about the process of joining. He explained that he auditioned and got a call back, but it was around when his father passed away, so his focus was, understandably, on his family. Northrop didn't hear anything for a little while, which was fine, but then something magical happened. Days of Our Lives called him on his birthday to tell him he booked the job. It was so cosmic, Northrop shared. It was almost like my dad had given me a birthday present, the first birthday after his passing, to help me through the trauma of dealing with his passing. It was an incredibly special connection to the father he just lost, especially as Northrop grew up visiting the Days of Our Lives set with his father. And he knew how much the show meant to the elder Northrop. But that also lent itself to a whole lot of emotions as he started filming. Liam, of course, will be spending a lot of time with Abe, and Northrop's time with James Reynolds has meant a lot. He was so kind to me, Northrop marveled to TV Insider. We honestly couldn't stop hugging each other. We were kind of holding up production a little bit because we were just wanting to connect, and he was just like, "Oh my gosh, you're Wayne's son. This is the best thing. I'm so excited. I loved your dad so much." While this is the actor's first major daytime role, it isn't his first foray into the soap opera world, as he appeared for a few episodes in 2017 as one of I.L. Giardino's bartenders on The Bold and the Beautiful. Leo's deadly snooping gamble, perilous hot water awaits. Days of Our Lives reveals Leo Stark got busted snooping around the super-secret new lab hidden behind the new hospital clinic. Now, he may actually be in danger. Are we going to see the Salem Spectator's ace reporter in a life-and-death dilemma in November sweeps? Could be. Let's talk about the hot water that Leo has gotten himself into after Rita told her boss, DiMera, about Leo's lurking and snooping. It's only a matter of time before EJ squashes Leo's curiosity, maybe for good. Days of Our Lives, Leo's busted. After the blackout, when Leo found Gwen Rizek, he got super curious and went back down to the construction area in the basement. Unfortunately, Leo was caught and had to think on his feet when Rita confronted him while he was down there snooping. Of course, Rita did not buy Leo's story claiming he lost an earbud. Then Rita ran and told her boss, EJ, that cub reporter Leo was lurking and looking around where he shouldn't have been. Days of Our Lives, Leo Stark's risky investigation, uncovering EJ's secret lab. So what are EJ's plans to deal with Chad DiMera's little reporter being too nosy? Well, Leo couldn't leave well enough alone and just had to go looking around the new clinic's secure room. That was the place he got just a peep at while saving Gwen. But of course, the lock is strange, and the security is overdone for the explanation. Leo can clearly see this is not a medical storage area like he was told when he busted in to rescue Gwen during the blackout. I know Leo was asking for trouble when he decided to go back poking around the hard hat zone again. Of course, Rita wasn't fooled by the AirPod cover story. Now, EJ has gone and ordered Gwen to play nice with her former bestie, Leo, aka Maddie. EJ wants Gwen to find out what Leo was doing in the lab and to convince him to just stay out of their business. Days of Our Lives, secret lab exposed. At this point, it's clear that Leo knows he messed up by poking around because he told Chad, aka Chadwick, all about his run-in with Rita and his concerns. But Chad laughed it off. He shrugged off Leo's concerns. However, Chad has no idea that Leo stumbled into EJ's secret new lab, and there are some super sketchy plans for this new research area, with EJ and Gwen conspiring on this super sketchy science project. I think everybody in Salem that finds out about it should be very, very afraid. DiMera and mad science together equals trouble. So Leo's hunch about the space being used by EJ for something dastardly is correct. But Finding that out may cost him, maybe even his life. Days of Our Lives, Gwen's deceptive olive branch. An old nickname sparks suspicion. Leo was also super surprised when Gwen dropped by the spectator to play nice, as EJ ordered. Gwen at first tried pushing back, but EJ wasn't having it and forced her to do his bidding. Gwen even used her old pet nickname for her ex-bestie, calling him Maddie. Leo was thrilled to hear Gwen call him that nickname because he's hoping it means she won't hate him for boinking her husband, Dimitri von Luskner DiMera, or at least not hate him forever. So Gwen invited Leo to lunch or dinner, his choosing. She wanted to thank him for rescuing her. And yeah, he should wonder why all of a sudden his former BFF, Gwen, is acting nice because just a few days ago, she wanted nothing to do with him. She has been chewing him out every time Gwen has run into Leo on Days of Our Lives. And then all of a sudden, it's Maddie and let's have lunch. So, is Leo going to see right through Gwen's fake niceness? Maybe. Days of Our Lives, EJ's damage control, enlisting Kat and Stephanie to misdirect Leo. We know that EJ sends Gwen over there to try and get a leash on Leo. But will it actually make the reporter even more suspicious? I'm also wondering if EJ may also put Kat Green on the job and get her to steer Leo away from the secure room, because EJ has something he wants from Kat this week, according to official day spoilers. EJ may ask his assistant Kat to show off the main part of the clinic for busybody Leo, to redirect his reporter coverage by offering a distraction. It's like, oh, here you can have a tour of the entire rest of the facility. And that thing's just a storage room. Don't worry about it. Kat may also be asked to keep an eye on Leo and report back to EJ if she sees Leo wandering around where he shouldn't be or asking hospital staff nosy questions. As you know, Stephanie Johnson is the hospital's PR person, and EJ needs all the help he can get with Leo. But I don't know if Stephanie can discourage him either. Both EJ and Stephanie have done their talking points about the hospital's part in the blackout. If you remember, EJ's shady electrician is the one who caused the outage, but then blamed it on Salem's old electricity infrastructure. EJ actually threatened to inform everybody that it was Paulina Price's fault for allowing the electricity grid run without adequate maintenance or something. Days of Our Lives. Can Kat distract Leo? If Kat can help steer Leo away from the room, it could make her undercover ISA job that much easier. Kat can't have Leo getting in the middle of her and Rafe Hernandez's investigation. If Kat plays her cards well, she may be able to acquire some intel of her own from Leo before he is hurried out of the hospital again and forbidden from going anywhere except to and from a doctor's appointment. Plus, EJ being so worried about Leo is also a red flag to Kat, and that could make her want to keep a closer check on the reporter. So, maybe Leo pulls up anything that could help Rafe and Kat. If she doesn't get the goods from Leo, maybe Kat can convince her brother, Dr. Mark Green, to participate with the inquiry because he's going to be working in this shady facility. Days of Our Lives. Will Leo become a victim? November sweeps promise high stakes. Now, we know Leo is kind of shaking in his fashionable boots right now. A DiMera has been crossed by him. He is also aware that EJ is considering him. He has good reason to be terrified. EJ might use Leo as his first test subject in some evil experiment in that brand new lab if Gwen and Kat are unable to persuade him to change his mind. With Rita and Gwen popping up out of the blue to invite him out to dinner, Leo is hopefully going to tell Javi Hernandez about all of his escapades. Between Leo telling Javi and Leo also telling Chad just about what's going on and his suspicions. At least if Leo does go missing, well, maybe Chad and Javi will recognize that maybe EJ has targeted Leo. I'm sure long term, even if EJ does get his hands on him, Leo will survive this. However, during the November sweeps, we saw EJ do something that caused Leo to disappear. We will soon find out. The ultimate Tony fake-out may have just occurred on Days of Our Lives, and it's not what we're thinking. All right, we ask, what's wrong with Tony? Since his most recent return to Days of Our Lives, he has been in exceptional form. And by that, we mean that he is out for blood, retribution, and the company of his family. He manipulated and betrayed Gabby, stole DiMera from the Kiriakis' family, and, as Maggie noted, fought ruthlessly and dishonestly to complete the task. Because of all of that, people are pretty sure Andre is back and is just acting like Tony, just like he has done so many times before. The fact that Andre has been deceased for a while is the only issue with that notion. So dead, in fact, that his ghost might be called up from hell by the devil. However, given that this is Salem, Andre's comeback isn't really hindered by that, especially in light of Tuesday's episode. In a panic, Anna called EJ to report that Tony had vanished during their cruise. By the end of the show, she had called back to clarify that everything had been a huge mistake and that he had returned. And that looked like a dead giveaway, that Andre had been taken in place of Tony. However, that would be illogical. It seems strange that this would be the swap because fans have been so certain that Tony is Andre. Why would it be so clear? Tony has been replaced every other time, and we just found out about it after the event. We were not present when it occurred. More likely, this small disappearance is a step closer to learning what Andre is up to if Tony has been replaced by his brother. Is he truly attempting to reunite with his father? Abe's concern about Theo becoming entangled with the DiMera would be greatly exacerbated if Stefano somehow made a comeback. Or does Andre/Tony have other plans? During the season preview, we saw a figure in a lab coat hovering over what appeared to be a cryogenic tube, and we heard one of them say, "It's almost time, Father." However, that did not imply that the individual wearing that garment was either. Heck, EJ is currently the only DiMera that we can be certain is involved in some dubious activities. However, we find it quite difficult to believe that Gwen would be helping to finance it or that EJ would attempt to bring his father back. Whatever transpired with Tony's disappearance, maybe it only brings us one step closer to understanding what the hell is going on. Steve scandalized. Hank Northrup's initial Liam episode. According to Days of Our Lives teasers for Wednesday, October 29th, Hank Northrup will appear in his first episode in the role of Liam Selejko. Here's what DOL fans can expect to see next. Steve Johnson will also reveal to Kayla Johnson. Steve might be about to make an awkward confession because Kayla and he might discuss Stephanie's controversial book in their next conversation. Given the explicit language, Steve might acknowledge that he is not very happy that Stephanie wrote One Stormy Night. Another factor contributing to Steve's unease on Wednesday's broadcast could be the return of Jeremy Horton. According to teasers for Days, Steve will confide in Kayla and possibly express concern that Jeremy would cause Stephanie Johnson additional issues. Stephanie is already suspicious that Jeremy betrayed his word by blabbing to Leo Stark, of course. Leo will continue to blame Jeremy even after EJ DiMera informed him that Stephanie was the one responsible for Anastasia Sands. According to teasers for Days, Stephanie will pressure Jeremy to simply acknowledge his actions and provide an explanation. However, Jeremy will assert his innocence once more, so perhaps Stephanie will see through his deceit and come to the conclusion that someone else is actually at fault. Stephanie may finally piece the puzzle together and realize that EJ must have been the blabbermouth after he has already been keeping the secret from her regarding JJ Devereaux. He will provide Jada Hunter with some encouraging news. Even though JJ has been undecided about leaving the Force, he might tell her that he plans to stay. He'll have a warning to give to Paulina Price over with Theo Carver. Since Abe is continuing to mentor Liam as part of the literacy program, there may be worries regarding his new mentee. Theo obviously still has some problems with Liam, even if Abe and Theo discussed trying to change the man's life. Theo isn't happy about Abe working with his former tormentor because Liam made their time together in school a nightmare. Nevertheless, Abe hopes to build a strong rapport with Liam and assist him in changing his ways when he meets him on Wednesday's DOL episode with Julie Williams. Hank Northrup has a family history in daytime drama as the son of the late Wayne Northrup and Lynn Herring of General Hospital. Hank is about to make his own soap opera. JJ makes a significant choice. Stephanie also approaches Jeremy. According to Wednesday, October 29th spoilers for Days of Our Lives, Jada Hunter may have cause for celebration. Abe Carver, meanwhile, accepts a fresh challenge. Furthermore, Stephanie Johnson is still in contact with her ex. This is what you should know. First, a decision. According to previews on Days of Our Lives, Jada receives good news from JJ Devereaux. We presume that JJ has decided to remain on the force while pursuing therapy because leaving wouldn't exactly excite her. We completely agree with that because we thought the entire incident on the night of the blackout was exaggerated. We have no doubt that this choice will eventually lead to further conflict between him and Theo Carver. You can tell he secretly wants JJ to quit, even though he told him it was up to him to decide whether to quit or stay. He simply refuses to say it. Wednesday, October 29th spoilers for Days of Our Lives. A new task. Without body and soul to contend with, Abe has been a little slack. He thus signed up for this mentorship program, and his new position will start on Wednesday, October 29th. He'll be officially introduced to Liam Selejko, who'll be his mentee. Since it sounds like there was a problem with Theo in the past, we're interested to see how this will play out. Since Abe is already upset about Theo working at DiMera, that could become yet another source of conflict between father and son. Get over it. She might have a solution, but that doesn't mean everything is fine. According to Days of Our Lives spoilers, Stephanie and Jeremy Horton appear to be on the hot seat. We know that she believes he exposed her to Leo Stark as Anastasia Sands. She didn't want to come out at all, but she made the decision to tell Leo the major secret. So, we anticipate when they meet paths again, the subject will once more come up. Stephanie will continue to believe that Jeremy hasn't changed at all, since he will keep denying. We can get her pointing the finger at him, but we hope she'll give him a break at some time. We like Jeremy right now, especially after he gave Chad DiMera an earful about the Hortons. Days of Our Lives, October 28th, the rinse. Brady and Sarah for the win. What will Xander and Kristen say? Days of Our Lives, October 28th episode had Sarah throwing barware at the wall in the manner of Sonny Corinthos from General Hospital as a way to express her rage over Xander's betrayal. Sarah angrily vented to Brady following her outburst. He gave guidance. She placed her head on his knee. Oh, well, we know what that means. Romance in chemistry. People frequently happen to cross paths in real life without thinking about it. Every contact on soap operas has a purpose. Why am I conversing with this individual? What do I want? What are they seeking? What may happen to us? Soaps frequently mix and match characters to determine who might click. It's known as a chemistry test. Or spark. Brady and Sarah have been communicating for several weeks. She assisted him with Rachel's whining. She did a DNA test on Sophia's baby. He now urged her to throw objects. That indicates that they are going to fall deeply in love in soap opera land, or at the very least immersed in something until a better alternative presents itself. The Parent Trap, because Kristen has corrupted Rachel to the point where she threw food at Chloe and nearly killed Ava. Brady's past romantic relationships have all ended. If neither of those worked, she persuaded the women that Brady should always prioritize his daughter, and that they should politely leave his company if they didn't like him being there. Except, story twist, Rachel truly likes Sarah. Additionally, Kristen needs a mommy substitute now more than ever because she is incarcerated. Sarah is a good fit. Completed transaction. Then it's decided. There is nothing preventing Sarah and Brady from getting together now that Rachel is on board. Well, except for Xander. he might release Sarah, but not Victoria. And Brady was the one advocating for Sarah to withhold the little girl from her daddy. Days of Our Lives, spoilers, photos preview, Aaron's Halloween horror, plus Stephanie unmasks. It appears that Salem will have a less than joyous Halloween. Days of Our Lives teasers photographs for the October 30th, 2025 episode suggest more tricks than goodies for our favorite Salemites. Salem scenes. Aaron experiences his worst nightmare, Stephanie gets ready to share hers, and Leo encounters a familiar person.